everyone. I'm Arnaz Sheikh,
And I'm Aditi Gupta.
and we're members of the Alumni Network. And this is an initiative of the Economics Department of Indraprastha College for Women, University of Delhi, to inspire the future economists. Today, we are in conversation with Ms. Shikha Daya, an alumna of the Economics Department of Indraprastha College for Women. After pursuing her graduation, she went on to do her master's from Madras School of Economics. She then went on to meritoriously pass the Indian Economic Service examination. She initially worked as an officer trainee at the Ministry of Finance and then went on to become an assistant director at the Department of Consumer Affairs. Currently, she is the deputy director of the 15th Finance Commission. Welcome, ma'am. How does it feel to be back at your alma mater,
I
ma'am?
feel absolutely nostalgic. It's kind of a very different experience to be here without, my whole bunch of friends. But yes, it's feeling really good.
I'm sure you're missing them quite a lot, ma'am.
Absolutely.
So, ma'am, my first question is, what motivated you to pursue economics and what led to choosing it as a career path?
Uh, well, when I passed from my 12th standard, obviously I knew there are a lot of a lot of career options which were available to me. And I knew that economics was one of the most popular courses of the Delhi University. So I did some research, spoke to a couple of people, and I realized that this is one subject which is perhaps needed in various sectors
Absolutely.
across the economy. Be it government, be it research organizations, and even a lot of demand was coming from the corporate sector. So that's how I think I made this choice. And to your second question on why an economist, I think I developed that liking for the subject, and I think that really motivated me.
Through the course of
Yeah,
the
through the
that's really nice.
Ma'am, it is said that data is the new oil. Do you think, hold true for economists also?
Yeah, I can't agree more. The way oil was for the industrial economy in the previous century. I think, yes, data is the new fuel for our knowledge and our digital economy in this age. So, yes, and if you see around, a lot more decisions, be it strategic decisions of the corporates, be it the policy decisions, or even your personal decisions, they are more and more backed by, data. So, yes, it's true. For economists, I think, these are the times when a lot, big volumes of data are coming in at a very high frequency, and a lot of softwares are coming up which are helping in analysis of this data. So I think these are really exciting time for the economists. They can test their theories and develop new theories and new hypotheses using this wide range of data and analytical softwares.
With regard to the previous question, do you think we should now find new methods to analyze data? Maybe using machine learning techniques instead of old school methods to perform economical parameters like inflation?
Uh, well, I have personally not worked on big data. I have not worked using machine learning language. But I have spoken to my friends who are in corporate sector, and yes, they have told me that when you have these volumes of data, for example, aggregation of tweets on Twitter, or censor information from the data, this kind of data which is there, which is coming at a very high frequency. I think it's a necessity that you need to have softwares like machine learning, where perhaps handling this complex data is easier and you can easily, take out more and more information out of it. But it's my personal view. See, if the volumes of data, if your data set is not that large, so perhaps even old school methods can provide you good results. That's what I think.
Like, ma'am, that's what I feel as students we feel that due to computer intervention, sometimes data might get manipulated in a way you might not want.
Yeah. So yeah, that's true. When it comes to such small data sets, or where you can put in a lot of your theoretical knowledge into it, I think you can get good results with. And like you said, yes, of course, data analysis can be manipulated in your own way. That's also there.
Right. And so, ma'am, the most fascinating part for us is that you went through the strenuous period of becoming an IAS officer. As students, now we get to know how much people go through. So, what was your experience through the training period? How did you go through it? What kept you going?
See, the training period was the most exciting part, I think, of my entire. I mean, I have had a career of about 7 years with the government.
Very
So that-
successful, ma'am. Very successful
Okay,
one.
thank you. So it was actually the most exciting part, and we got this chance to be trained with the most eminent institutions of the country. We got trained with IEG, Institute of Economic Growth.
Growth, yes.
We went to IIM Ahmedabad, RPI Chennai. We had Indian Maritime Universities, a course that we did from there. We also went to Bankers Institute of Research Development
Yes, ma'am.
in Lucknow. We also went to Civil Services College in Singapore. And then we had a foundation course that spanned for about 3 months, where we interacted with other service colleagues, and that gave us a whole different perspective of how things can be at the ground. So it was very exciting. After that, I was also attached with Karnataka Secretariat for a month,
Okay.
and then I was also attached with the Deputy Commissioner of Udupi District. So
Acha,
yeah,
okay.
that again helped to get to know of the ground realities.
Right.
So it was very, very interesting in that
Sounds
sense.
very interesting,
Yeah.
wow.
Thank you.
So, ma'am, we see through your face that you love your job so much. So, what as a student, what we'd like to know is, students, we'd like to know is, what aspect of your job do you love the most, and what keeps you motivated to go ahead every day, wake up every day, and say, "I'm doing something I love."
I think the most interesting part of my job is that you get to hold these widespread stakeholder consultations with various groups. For example, we have consultations with the states, with the union ministries. We also have consultations with the RBI and multilateral institutions like IMF, World Bank. And even on the ground level, you get to interact a lot with the people, and you have this, you learn from this different viewpoints of so many intellectuals around you, even economists. We have, meetings, very frequent meetings with economists also. So yeah, that learning experience is amazing. And you also kind of get that flexibility to derive this intellectual knowledge and put it into practice. So I think that is another part that I really like. Well, what keeps me motivating? See, I think it's just the fact that the work I believe that we do as part of the government, it's for the greater good.
Good.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah, it's in itself, it's a big motivational factor.
So the fact that you're contributing to the country in a way.
Knowing that you had a part, or even a small part in the change, is quite worthwhile.
Absolutely, ma'am.
Yeah.
That's really nice. Ma'am, very personal question though, but so we are taught that there's a difference between the economics that we're taught, and there's a difference between the economics that we practice, or that officials like you practice. So, do you agree? What your opinion on it is?
I think that will depend upon the kind of career you are in. If you are into academics, or if you are into research organization, you'll get to practice a lot of the theories that you actually learned while you were in your graduation or your post-graduation. So when you are in such fields, you are still practicing a lot of your theories which you were being taught. In government policy also, I think it's a mix. You get to use a lot of common sense, plus you can extract some value from the theories that you were taught. And of course, there's a lot of research happening around that you need to constantly be aware of, so you can actually put it into practice. But if you are in corporate sector, perhaps your work might not be directly related to economics in that sense. But economics is a subject. I think it gives you that toolkit. It gives you that analytical set of mind, which over a period of the course that you go through, it gives you that analytical mindset and that ability that you'll be able to solve a very complex situation. So an indirect way, I think it is still helping you in the corporate sector.
Right.
And of course, you have econometrics. It forms the
Absolutely.
basis of data analysis. So that part is also there.
Ma'am, you've had a very, very successful career so far.
Okay, thank
what
you.
what would you say was the contribution of IP College through this journey?
Well, every college has got a big role in not just your making your career, but also in shaping your personality. So yes, IP College has made, I think, a significant contribution in this journey that I've had. Of course, I remember the teachers; they were so hardworking. You can just approach them anytime after classes, after tunes. They were always available. And I very clearly remember while I was preparing for IES exam, I still used my old readings. I still used my notes from the college. So yes, it did make a lot of contribution in that sense. And I was a hostler, so even in an indirect way, it helped me to shape up my whole personality. In the sense, it was literally the first time that I came out of my home and I was on my own. I took charge of my life on my own. So yes, I think it helped me a lot. It helped me a lot to become perhaps more independent, and it helped me a lot in taking bigger decisions of life more confidently.
Right, ma'am. Ma'am, as economists, as aspiring economists, we're told that we should be very well read. So, would there be any book that you're currently reading, or would suggest?
See, to that question, I'll say yes. You should be on a constant lookout for. There are so many researches which is happening,
Right,
So,
ma'am.
if you are asking me from that point of view, since you are aspiring to become an economist, you should be reading a lot of journals in that sense, where you get a lot of good articles on researches happening in this field. But I read fiction, non-fiction both. So currently, I am reading Tuesdays with Maury. It's a book
Okay,
by
ma'am.
Mitchell.
That's amazing, ma'am. I think to strike a balance between the both,
Yeah.
both the
Both are
aspects
very
of
good.
your personality,
Yeah,
that's
both-
really nice.
Both are important.
Ma'am, what in your opinion would you say is the most important quality that is needed to be an economist?
I think it's like we just spoke about, reading extensively, having an analytical bent of mind, and of course that ability to solve a complex situation and give out simpler solutions.
And would you say it's built over a time?
It's
Or
definitely built over a time. When you come from 12th standard, I don't think you, yeah, you are right. Over this course of 3 years graduation, you definitely start reading things in a different manner.
yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
So now, if you, which year are you guys?
we're both
Second.
in second year. ma'am.
Second year. So yeah, you can yourself compare when you used to read newspapers like Economic Times, 2
Haan
years
ji.
back and now. So it makes a lot of sense. It's built slowly over
Yes, ma'am.
years. Yeah.
That's really
We
nice,
actually
ma'am.
get to understand a few terms.
Exactly. Yeah. You
Better
can
than
relate
we do.
more.
Yeah, that
you can,
maybe we couldn't at that time.
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah. It's possible.
Ma'am, what, like, at this point of time in your career, what would be that one word of it or words of advice that you wish you had gotten right now, maybe when you were in college, that would have helped you through your course, the course of your journey even better?
Words of advice. Uh, Well, I think I was not a very hardworking student when I was in
Okay.
college. Perhaps I should have put in more effort at that time. Mm, I mean, there's no such specific one thing that I could point out to. I think, like I said about reading, also, I was not very regular with, a lot of developments happening around you apart from the course that we were
हाँ जी
reading.
मैम, right.
So perhaps I think I should have focused more in that area because economics is not just in the textbook; it's everywhere around you. You can see it everywhere around. So perhaps I think a bit more of reading the general things was required.
I think we should take a page out of that book, absolutely, ma'am. In this generation, we also tend to be procrastinators at a lot of points of times in our lives.
That's true.
And,
Now I'm recalling. I was a big procrastinator myself.
But I guess, ma'am, that's the thing, like, we were so enthusiastic to interact with you because getting to know the perspective of someone where you want to be after 10 years or after 5 years, you understand what you're lacking right now and maybe
Yeah.
you can work on it. So, thank you so much, ma'am, for
Thank
the
you so
time
much.
and taking out time from your busy
Thank
schedule.
you. Thank you.
And,
It was an
uh,
absolute pleasure speaking.
Same here, ma'am. Same here. Thank you so much.